Is it me, or does this just keep getting crazier and crazier every time I turn around? Every time there's something more that's like, Jesus Christ. Um, Man, we are taking really far sweeping measures for this thing, and it's got a pretty high fatality rate. Yes, it does have a high infection rate. Yes, it hasn't killed anyone near as much as flu, for sure. Um, is it have the potential to? Absolutely. But God, we are just getting really crazy over this thing, and a lot of the craziness is human made. There are reports of supply trucks for grocery stores being hijacked. People have stocked up and they are stuck with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of supplies like hand sanitizers that they can't sell now. Well, I guess they're geared for the apocalypse. If the apocalypse happens, then they can open up their own store out of their garage and probably make a killing. But now Mayor Bill de Blasio is considering an entire New York City lockdown, a full lockdown. And is, in his words, everyone should assume that they are infected. Literally. He said, and we'll get to the quote here in a little bit, everybody should assume that they are infected. That's what he said. Let's read this. Bill de Blasio said Sunday that he isn't ruling out quarantining New York City as cases of coronavirus in the most populous U.S. city skyrocketed this week. Every option is on the table in a crisis, de Blasio told CNN Sunday morning. And yeah, every option should be on the table, but maybe not every option should be used. I believe personally the biggest responsibility is ourselves. We are our biggest. What am I trying to say here? Good God. The person who is responsible for our own security is ourselves, more than anybody else. And that includes washing your hands. Men, statistically, men are bad about that. And with this thing going on, men statistically are hit a lot harder. So yeah, guys, wash your hands. We've never seen anything like this, the Democratic New York City mayor, who had a quick stint running in the presidential primary, continued. It's changing every hour, so we're constantly changing and making new decisions, de Blasio said, adding he expected the case tally in the city to rise to 1,000 in the next few days. There's food shortage reports. Then there's logistics of if everybody's locked down, how do you supply them food? There's the economic hit. If businesses are closed and a family is living paycheck to paycheck, how are they going to make it? How are they going to survive? The average American doesn't have enough funds to survive an emergency like this. So what do we do? Is there enough funding to supply every working American in the United States 2, 3, a month, 2 months, who knows how long pay? I don't see that really being possible, not if it's extended. That's just, I don't see it being possible. And then there's the whole fact of taxes, It's going to affect all kinds of things. I mean, the economic woes of this are going to be felt for a very, very long time. And we're going to be figuring it out even after this thing goes away, if it goes away, or if it's phasal and we get to look forward to it next year, and maybe it's the same thing as flu, which probably is what it's going to be. Every year they'll figure, well, here's what we believe next year's virus is going to look like, and they'll come up with the vaccine exactly like the flu, and it will work as long as it doesn't mutate to a different, different strand. I've done a video on the vaccines before. Basically, what we learned was the vaccines tend to mutate to a slightly different strain before they're even put out, so they're not quite the exact strain, which is why the vaccine isn't as effective as it could be. Donald Trump declared a national state of emergency on Friday during a press conference in the Rose Garden, but de Blasio says he needs to go even further. But how much further? How much further? We need the federal government to take over the supply chain right now, he said. He's basically saying they want to be able to have the United States government take over the supply chain, be able to supply more surgical masks, sanitizers, things of that sort. Force these factories to go under 24/7 shifts, maybe hire a whole crew of people, maybe even open up new factories. And opening up the factories would be a good idea because it would be the start of us maybe getting off the tit of China. We build the factories for this emergency situation. Then once this emergency situation dies down, we slide these factories into making our own hand sanitizers, our own cleaning chemicals, our own drugs, our own prescription drugs, our own over-the-counter drugs. I mean, all around, we could turn this into a good thing through preparedness and opening our eyes and realizing that we are way too much at the mercy of China, quite honestly, in my opinion. And by the way, give me a like, a thumbs, a comment, a share. You know the drill. I'm trying to beat YouTube, and it would really help. New York City officials warned the UN diplomatic community that everyone in the city should assume they've been in contact with the thing. They said threats of proliferating cases are projected to last until the fall. The fall. The fall. That's a long time. On Saturday, New York City Commissioner Penny Abe-Wardena in the mayor's office for international affairs and officials... Let me reread that. What? I just got back from out in the woods and whatnot. So on Saturday, New York City Commissioner Penny whatever in the mayor's office for international affairs and officials with the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene held a briefing for foreign delegations in the city. Everyone in New York should assume that they have been in contact with the thing and read out at contact with the thing. See, I'm so focused at trying not to mention the word of it because YouTube puts such a stranglehold on everything that I can't focus on just getting the news out there because I'm like, how can I do this that way people can see it? Everyone in New York should assume that they have been in contact with this thing, a readout at the conference call said, according to Foreign Policy. In the Saturday briefing, medical officials stressed that the city is in the mitigation phase of the outbreak, and the virus could threaten the health of residents until as late as September. Man, that's a long time. That is a long, long time, man. And that is the Penny Abe-Wardena, whatever it is. But here's the thing. If New York goes on to a lockdown, a lot of other cities are going to follow suit because it will set a precedence, and a lot of other cities will feel more comfortable. Nobody wants to be the first guy to do that thing that everybody's afraid of. But if New York does, and de Blasio is the kind of guy that will, he definitely leaps first and looks later. He's definitely the guy to do it. But other cities will follow suit if he does, and yeah, we are living history, people. This is news. This is things that people are going to talk about for a long time. And because of that, we report on it, and we try to get the information out there. And fighting YouTube is a David and Goliath thing. It really is. It really, truly is. So any kind of engagement would be greatly appreciated. But I love you guys, and stay informed, and I'll keep you informed with the best news as I can to my ability. As far as I know, I have never spewed any fake news. If I have, dear God, someone go ahead and call me out on it. I'm all for that. But yeah, that's what I got for you on this one. I love you guys. You guys stay informed, and I'll see you on the next one.